Imagine for a moment the life you truly want. The life where challenges don't break you, where setbacks fuel you, and where you feel unshakable no matter what storms come your way. That life isn't a fantasy. It's not reserved for a select few. It's available to anyone willing to make the choice right now to step into their own power. You see, mental strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you build brick by brick, habit by habit. Every thought you allow, every decision you make, every small action you take either strengthens your mind or chips away at it. Today, we're going to dive deep into the habits that don't just improve your life, they transform it. The habits that create resilience so fierce that fear becomes fuel, obstacles become opportunities, and doubt is nothing more than a whisper you choose to ignore. I want you to recognize that mental strength isn't some abstract idea. It's a skill. And like any skill, it can be trained, it can be mastered, and it can become your superpower. So let's unleash it together. Mental strength is not something people are simply born with. It is a muscle that grows stronger with deliberate practice and conscious effort. Every single day, we are faced with choices that either build our resilience or weaken it. Developing mental strength begins with the recognition that our thoughts, actions, and habits shape the way we respond to life's challenges. It is not a magical trait reserved for the extraordinary. It is accessible to anyone willing to commit to the process of growth. The first habit that builds mental strength is taking full responsibility for your life and your choices. When you stop blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck for your struggles, you reclaim your power. This is where real transformation begins. The moment you decide that you are accountable for your actions, your mindset shifts from one of helplessness to one of empowerment. Mental strength also requires cultivating a mindset of resilience, where challenges are seen not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. Life will inevitably throw curveballs, setbacks, failures, rejection, but your response to these events is entirely within your control. Developing the ability to respond with determination rather than despair is a hallmark of mental toughness. Another crucial aspect of building mental strength is self-discipline. The ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it, separates those who endure from those who give in to momentary impulses. Consistent effort over time compounds into habits that fortify your mind against stress and adversity. This discipline also extends to the management of your thoughts and emotions. The stronger your mind, the better you are at recognizing negative thought patterns and replacing them with constructive ones. This requires awareness and practice because our brains naturally default to fear, doubt, or self-criticism. By consciously choosing optimism, focus, and persistence, you reinforce pathways in your brain that support resilience. Mental strength is equally about patience and perspective. Those who are mentally strong understand that growth does not happen overnight. They embrace discomfort as a teacher and recognize that temporary pain often precedes lasting progress. They understand the value of delayed gratification and the importance of maintaining a long-term vision rather than being derailed by short-term frustrations or distractions. Finally, cultivating mental strength involves surrounding yourself with influences that encourage growth rather than drain energy or reinforce weakness. The people you interact with, the information you consume, and the environments you inhabit all shape the habits of your mind. Choosing positivity, accountability, and support allows the seeds of mental strength to flourish and reinforces the commitment to personal mastery. The power of mindset is one of the most transformative forces in building mental strength, because the way we think directly shapes the way we feel, act, and respond to life's challenges. Every situation we encounter is filtered through our thoughts and beliefs, and these internal narratives either empower us or hold us back. A person with a strong mindset understands that circumstances themselves are neutral. It is our interpretation of them that determines whether we feel defeated or energized. Developing this mental clarity requires awareness of the patterns that dominate your mind. Negative self-talk, limiting beliefs, and ingrained fears can subtly dictate behavior, keeping us stuck in cycles of doubt and hesitation. By consciously observing these patterns and challenging them, you can begin to shift your mental focus toward constructive and empowering thoughts. One of the most effective ways to cultivate a strong mindset is through intentional reframing. When faced with a setback, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you ask, "What can I learn from this?" Or how can I use this to grow stronger? This simple shift in perspective transforms obstacles into opportunities and fuels resilience. Another critical element is the ability to focus on what is within your control rather than wasting energy on things beyond it. Mentally strong individuals invest their attention in actionable solutions, deliberate effort, and personal improvement rather than ruminating on circumstances or blaming external factors. This focus not only enhances problem-solving ability, but also reinforces a sense of agency and confidence. Additionally, the POW, our mindset, is closely tied to emotional regulation. By cultivating the habit of recognizing and managing emotions, you prevent temporary feelings like fear, anger, or frustration from dictating your decisions. This requires training your mind to pause, reflect, and choose responses deliberately rather than reacting impulsively to external events. Positive mental habits such as gratitude, visualization, and affirmations further reinforce a resilient mindset by rewiring the brain to notice opportunities, strengths, and progress instead of focusing solely on deficits or failures. It is also essential to maintain a long-term perspective, understanding that challenges are part of a larger journey rather than insurmountable barriers. Mentally strong individuals know that persistence, consistency, and belief in their capacity to improve will ultimately outweigh temporary discomfort or setbacks. By consistently nurturing these thought patterns, mindset becomes a tool for empowerment, shaping behaviors that align with growth, confidence, and perseverance, while diminishing the impact of fear, doubt, and external negativity. Over time, this intentional focus transforms the mind into a fortress of resilience, capable of navigating adversity with clarity, courage, and unwavering determination. Discipline is the backbone of mental strength because it is through consistent, intentional action that the mind develops resilience and stability. Mental strength is not simply about surviving challenges. It is about responding to them with control, clarity, and purpose. Emotional regulation is a key aspect of this discipline, as it allows you to navigate life's difficulties without being hijacked by impulses or negative reactions. People who lack this self-control often find themselves overwhelmed by frustration, fear, or anger, which can cloud judgment and limit progress. Developing discipline means learning to pause before reacting, to observe emotions without judgment, and to choose responses that align with long-term goals rather than immediate gratification. It requires creating habits that strengthen focus, endurance, and patience, and committing to them even when motivation fades. Discipline in mental strength also involves setting clear priorities and sticking to them. Life is full of distractions, temptations, and competing demands, and without the ability to stay focused on what truly matters, energy and effort can easily be dissipated. Mentally strong individuals recognize that saying no to short-term pleasures, unnecessary drama, or unproductive thoughts is essential for maintaining clarity and direction. Another dimension of discipline is perseverance in the face of adversity. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but mental toughness is forged by those who continue to act with determination despite difficulties. Each deliberate effort, each choice to persist rather than surrender, reinforces neural pathways that enhance resilience and confidence. Discipline also shapes the way we manage routines and daily practices, from maintaining healthy habits to setting boundaries around time and energy. Small, consistent actions, such as practicing mindfulness, exercising, or dedicating time to skill development, accumulate over time, creating a strong foundation for mental endurance. Furthermore, the discipline to monitor and adjust one's mindset is crucial. Thoughts that are destructive, self-limiting, or fear-based must be identified and replaced with constructive alternatives. This requires regular reflection and the courage to confront uncomfortable truths about oneself. Mentally strong individuals cultivate an inner accountability, holding themselves responsible for their actions, thoughts, and emotions. They understand that relying on external validation or avoiding discomfort undermines their growth. By exercising discipline, the mind becomes flexible yet unyielding, capable of maintaining composure under pressure and making choices that serve long-term goals. It is through this rigorous training of thought, emotion, and behavior that mental strength solidifies, creating the ability to withstand stress, face uncertainty with confidence, and approach life's challenges with unwavering focus and intentionality. Small, consistent actions are the building blocks of mental strength because the mind grows resilient not through occasional bursts of effort, but through steady, deliberate practice over time. Many people underestimate the power of small habits, believing that dramatic changes or extraordinary feats are necessary to become mentally strong. The truth is that daily choices, what you think, how you respond, and the routines you follow compound to create an inner fortress that can withstand adversity. Mental strength develops when small wins are accumulated, when each decision to act with intention reinforces the belief in your own capacity to handle challenges. For example, committing to a simple morning routine, setting aside time for reflection, or practicing gratitude may seem insignificant in isolation, but these repeated actions wire the brain toward resilience, discipline, and focus. Similarly, consistently choosing to face discomfort rather than avoid it, whether in learning a new skill, confronting difficult emotions, or stepping outside your comfort zone, trains the mind to tolerate stress and uncertainty without crumbling. Persistence in small actions cultivates patience and long-term vision, teaching the mind that progress is gradual and that setbacks are part of the journey, not reasons to quit. Another critical aspect of small, consistent habits is their effect on self-confidence. EAC. Small accomplishment reinforces the belief that you are capable, that your effort matters, and that challenges can be met with skill and determination. This creates a positive feedback loop. The more you practice mental resilience in manageable steps, the more your confidence grows, enabling you to take on progressively larger challenges. Mental strength is also reinforced through intentional practices that protect and nourish the mind. Daily routines of mindfulness, journaling, exercise, or focused learning are all examples of small but powerful actions that compound into significant mental fortitude. These habits create a sense of stability and control, which is essential when facing the unpredictability of life. Moreover, small, consistent actions help cultivate adaptability, the ability to respond flexibly to change rather than reacting impulsively or emotionally, stems from the accumulation of intentional practices that strengthen focus, awareness, and patience. Mental toughness is rarely forged in dramatic moments. It is built quietly, moment by moment, through repeated effort that shapes neural pathways, reinforces discipline, and solidifies emotional regulation. Over time, the combination of daily choices, deliberate practice, and steady perseverance transforms the mind into a resilient instrument capable of navigating challenges with clarity, courage, and unwavering determination. The compounding effect of these small actions ensures that even in the face of adversity, setbacks, or uncertainty, your mental strength continues to grow, shaping your responses, decisions, and the trajectory of your life in profound ways. Building mental strength requires intentional practices that go beyond reacting to life's challenges. It demands a proactive commitment to nurturing the mind, cultivating focus, and persisting through adversity. One of the most important practices. CES is reflection, which allows individuals to examine their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors with honesty and clarity. By taking time to reflect on experiences, both successes and failures, the mind becomes more aware of patterns that either support growth or perpetuate weakness. Reflection encourages self-awareness, helping to identify limiting beliefs, negative thought cycles, and emotional triggers that can undermine resilience. Alongside reflection, the practice of focus is crucial for mental strength. In a world full of distractions, the ability to concentrate on what truly matters separates those who achieve their goals from those who drift through life reacting to every impulse. Focus allows the mind to channel energy toward productive actions, maintain clarity under pressure, and navigate complex challenges without being overwhelmed. Mental strength is further reinforced by the habit of persistence. Life inevitably presents obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt, but developing the discipline to continue moving forward, even when progress seems slow or uncertain, strengthens resilience over time. Persistence is not blind stubbornness. It is the deliberate choice to remain committed to long-term goals while adapting to changing circumstances and learning from mistakes. Another essential practice is the cultivation of emotional intelligence. Mentally strong individuals understand that emotions are signals, not directives, and they learn to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This involves recognizing emotional patterns, regulating responses, and choosing actions aligned with long-term objectives rather than immediate comfort or avoidance. Intentional practices also include cultivating positive mental habits, such as gratitude, visualization, and affirmation. These techniques help rewire the brain to focus on opportunities, strengths, and progress instead of fear, doubt, or perceived limitations. By reinforcing optimism and resilience, these habits create a mental environment that supports growth, courage, and adaptability. Additionally, building mental strength requires surrounding oneself with influences that encourage personal growth. The people we interact with, the information we consume, and the environments we inhabit all shape our mindset. Choosing supportive, inspiring, and challenging influences strengthens the mind, reinforces accountability, and fosters continuous improvement. Finally, intentional practices involve setting clear boundaries and managing energy wisely. Protecting mental space from negativity, distractions, and unnecessary stress ensures that the mind remains focused, disciplined, and resilient. Through consistent engagement in these practices, mental strength becomes a cultivated skill, a deliberate choice, and a sustainable way of approaching life that empowers individuals to face challenges with confidence, clarity, and unwavering resolve.